Rational and irrational numbers. Number 1. 1/3 is 0.3333. Notice the bar over the last 3, which means that this number is repeated infinitely. Thus, 1/3 is a rational number because it can be represented as a quotient of two integers and it contains a repeating decimal. Number 3. Pi contains neither a terminating nor repeating decimal, and it cannot be represented as a quotient of two integers. Therefore, pi is an irrational number. Number 7. 29 divided by 36. This is a rational number because it can be represented as a quotient of two integers and it contains a repeating decimal. Number 11. 11 divided by 24 is a rational number because it can be represented as a quotient of two integers and it contains a repeating decimal. Number 12. 11 divided by 7 is a rational number because it can be represented as a ratio of two integers. Number 15. 23 divided by 19 is a rational number because it can be represented as a quotient of two integers. Number 19. 14 divided by 37 is a rational number because it can be represented as a quotient of two integers and it contains repeating decimals. Number 22. 97 divided by 91 is a rational number because it can be represented as a quotient of two integers. Number 24. 119 divided by 117 is a rational number because it can be represented as a ratio of two integers. Simplification of rational and irrational numbers. Number 1. 2/3 plus 3/9. In order to add these two numbers, they must have like denominators. Thus, we must find the least common denominator. Since 3 will divide 9 evenly, let 9 be the least common denominator. Let's multiply 2/3 by 3/3. The problem now reads 6/9 plus 3/9, which is 9 divided by 9. 9 divided by 9 is the same as 1 divided by 1, and 1 divided by 1 is 1. Number 3. 4/5 plus 6/10 minus 9/18. First, let's simplify the latter two components. 2 times 3 divided by 2 times 5 is equivalent to 6 divided by 10. 1 times 9 divided by 2 times 9 is equivalent to 9/18. Notice these two components have like components that can be eliminated. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 9 divided by 9 is 1. Thus we have 4/5 plus 3/5 minus 1/2. Now that we have simplified the problem, we are ready to determine the least common denominator. Since 10 is evenly divisible by all the denominators, let's use 10 as the least common denominator. Multiply 4/5 by 2/2 and 3/5 by 2/2, and finally negative 1/2 by 5/5. To obtain 8/10 plus 6/10 minus 5/10, which is 9/10. Number 4. Negative 5/8 minus negative 11/24. Negative 5/8 plus 11/24. Remember, when a minus sign precedes a minus sign, it becomes positive. First, let's determine the least common denominator. Since 8 will divide 24 3 times, multiply negative 5/8 by 3/3. Negative 15 divided by 24 plus 11 divided by 24 is negative 4 divided by 24. This problem can be further simplified because 4 will divide 24 6 times. Thus, we have negative 1/6. Number 7. 19 divided by 7 minus 15 divided by 8 minus 16 divided by 5. We determine the least common denominator for this problem by multiplying 7 times 8 times 5, which is 280. Multiply 19 divided by 7 by 40 over 40. Negative 15 divided by 8 by 35 over 35. And 16 divided by 5 by 42 over 42 to obtain 760 divided by 280 minus 525 divided by 280 minus 896 divided by 280, which is negative 661 divided by 280. Number 10. 3/4 minus negative 7/12 minus 7/8. The least common denominator in this problem is 24 because all the denominators will evenly divide 24. 3/4 multiplied by 6 over 6 is 18/24. 7/12 multiplied by 2 over 2 is 14/24. And negative 7/8 multiplied by 3 over 3 is negative 21 over 24. 18 plus 14 minus 21 divided by 24 is 11/24. Number 12. Negative 5/8 minus negative 11/18 minus 11/12. The least common denominator in this problem is 144. Thus, multiply negative 5/8 by 18 over 18 to obtain negative 90 over 144. And multiply 11/18 by 8 over 8 to obtain 80 over 144. Finally, multiply negative 11/12 by 12 over 12 to get 132 divided by 144. Thus, the equation now becomes negative 90 plus 88 minus 132 divided by 144. Adding these numbers yields negative 134 divided by 144. This problem can be further simplified because both the numerator and the denominator are evenly divisible by 2. The resulting equation is negative 67 divided by 72. Number 13. 17.0278 minus 14.0115. When solving this type of problem, make sure the decimal is in the correct position. Then simply subtract negative 14.0115 from 17.0278. Number 17. You might want to use your calculator to solve this problem. 317.92300 minus 18.41157 plus 97.67420. First, align the numbers. Then add or subtract according to the sign preceding the number. The final solution is 397.18563. Number 19. This problem is also a calculator problem. Following the same procedure as before, align the decimals and using the sign preceding the numbers, add or subtract. 71.0235 minus 86.0974 plus 254.3090. The final solution is 239.2351. Number 1. 1/2 times negative 8/3. Simplify 8/3, which is negative 2 times 4 divided by 3. Now multiply 1/2 times negative 2 times 4 divided by 3. Notice that the 2's cancel one another out. The solution is negative 4/3. Number 3. 19/14 times 7/8. Simplify 19/14, which is 19 divided by 2 times 7. Multiply 19 divided by 2 times 7 by 7/8. The 2 7's canceled out. Now we are left with 19 divided by 2 times 1/8. The solution is 19/16. Number 5. Multiply 1/2 times -3/4 times -5/8 to obtain 15/64. Remember that multiplying two negative numbers results in a positive number. Number 7. Multiply 5/8 by -7/12 by 16/25. First, simplify 16 divided by 25, which is 2 times 8 divided by 5 times 5, and multiply it by 5/8. Since 5 and 8 are in the numerator and denominator of these two problems, they cancel each other out. We are left with 2/5. Next, we must simplify -7/12, which is -7 divided by 3 times 2 times 2. Now multiply -7 divided by 3 times 2 times 2 by 2/5. There is only one like pair in this problem, and that is 2. We cancel the set of 2's out. Multiply the remaining components -7 divided by 3 times 2 times 1/5, which is -7 divided by 30. Number 10. 3/4 divided by 1/8. First, invert the denominator 1/8, which becomes 8/1, and multiply it by the numerator. Next, simplify 8 divided by 1, which becomes 2 times 4 divided by 1. Multiply 2 times 4 divided by 1 by 3/4. The 4's cancel out, and we are left with 3 times 2 divided by 1, which is 6.